Man, if I could only tell you what all has gone through my mind. Ah! Acuna! I wonder if Scott takes returns. I guess I'll have to email him and find out. I can't believe this has happened. Again. There's so much we could go over here. Man, it's hard to even just gather my thoughts around all of it. I mean, it's fairly fresh, but just thinking about it. First off, am I upset that I chose to collect Acuna and now this has happened? Not at all. Partly because of the way that I approached my collection of Acuna. I steered away from autographed cards. I've got some autographed baseballs, but I felt like I got really good deals on those. And I think the autographed baseballs will probably hold about similar value. I don't see them, they don't fluctuate like cards do. As far as the cards go, like I said, I've really avoided autograph cards. I've avoided any SPs or image variations that are like the high dollar ones so far. The biggest rookie that I've got is a bat down, which I didn't pay a ton for considering, but now it's not worth anywhere near what I paid for it, which is fine. I don't care about that. I mean, there's plenty of other collectors that are in for major money with Acuna, and this massively hurts them. So no, I'm not upset whatsoever with that. I'm really just upset with kind of how the season's gone so far for the Braves. I haven't done many update videos. I did some prediction videos and things like that. I haven't done many update videos since the season started, but the Braves just haven't been playing well. And then we lose Spencer Strider, which at the time I wasn't concerned about. I'd love to have Strider, don't get me wrong. But I thought for sure, man, with this offense, the pitching staff that we do have, we'll be fine. But gosh, it has just not gone that way. And now Acuna's out too. So you're talking about beginning of the season, the Braves had the number one NL Cy Young odds. He was number one in odds to win the NL Cy Young. Acuna was number one at odds to win the MVP just because what he did last year. We've lost both of those guys now. That in and of itself is just crazy. But here we are. Let's talk about some of the long-term implications of Acuna, because this has really big long-term impacts for Acuna and what his legacy in MLB is going to be long-term. There's potential for that. This is serious stuff with him. So Acuna, this is his 7th season in the league, believe it or not. I know he's still young, right? And we expect him to play for a long, long time after this. But there's a possibility. I mean, this could be the halfway point. A 14-year career is a long career for some people. Think about that. This is his 7th season. If he put in 14 years, this is the halfway point. It just doesn't seem possible. Or I just don't want to believe it, put it that way. But let's talk about those 7 seasons. 2018, came up as a rookie. didn't start the year with the team, got called up pretty early on, and played a lengthy season. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but no problem. 2019, played a full season, had a good season. 2020, what happens? COVID year, 60 games, that's it. 2021, what happens? Blows out his knee before the All-Star break. He's done. Not even half a year. 2022, he comes back, plays maybe half of a year. Okay? 2023, we all know what happens there. Speaking of which, his injury was Sunday. Tuesday night, so probably the day you're watching this video, they're doing the Acuna MVP stadium giveaway at Truist to honor the 2023 season. Man, what a bummer. He goes down 2 days before they're giving away his MVP SGA bobblehead. I'll be at that game. That's gonna stink. Anyways, 2023, full season, fully healthy, first time since 2019. Think about that. And look what he does. Something nobody's ever done in the game. 40-70. And now here we are, 2024. 2 months in, gone. Rest of the season shut down. There's a chance that he's ready by opening day 2025. There's a chance. But look at 2022. He was not the same Acuna. He was favoring his right leg. He had no pop. So who knows what he's going to be like in 2025. I'm not expecting much, I'll tell you that. So think about that. 7 seasons. He has essentially had 3 full seasons. If you count his rookie year, a full season. 2018, 2019, 2023. That's it. That's it. Now, why is that such a big deal? We're talking Hall of Fame numbers. What do you have to get in? You've got to accumulate enough WAR. That takes time. How do you accumulate WAR? You rack up home runs. You rack up stolen bases. You get hits, RBIs, runs scored, all of these things. He's not getting an opportunity to do those when he's out with injuries. So this is what I'm talking about, the long-term effects of the Acuna injury. And again, there's no guarantee that he comes back and plays like his old self. I mean, people are already talking about how the Braves have got to limit his stolen bases. They've got to stop him from playing in, the Venezuelan League and all of these sorts of things. I don't know how all that's going to shake out. I have no idea. But all that's got to be considered. There's a good chance he's not the Acuna that we've been accustomed to. And man, that's just so sad to think about. I've got a son who's 3 years old, and man, I was really just looking forward to him growing up in this era of the Braves. They're still going to be good, don't get me wrong, but being able to watch Acuna on a Hall of Fame track do things that other people have never been able to do, and maybe he returns and he's still able to do things that nobody's ever accomplished. Maybe he still has a 50-50 season, a 60-60 season. Who knows? The chances are against him. They're not for him. They are not in his favor to pull that off. And man, that is just sad. It's a sad reality. Okay? And if he's not the same player, he's not going to put up the numbers to end up in the Hall of Fame. Just personally, one of the reasons that I decided to do the Acuna Master Collection was I felt like he was going to end up being in the Hall of Fame. And if I started early, you know, I would be ahead of the curve a little bit. There are other people that are way ahead of me. I'm not worried about them. I'm just trying to take care of myself. But I thought it'd be really cool if he gets into the Hall and I've got his entire run of cards produced of him from his playing days. And who knows? All of that is potentially on the chopping block. I don't know. So that's some of the long-term effects, right? Let's talk about something real short-term. I'm a Braves season ticket holder. And as I mentioned, I've got young kids coming up. I don't live particularly close to the stadium, but I'm able to kind of navigate through my ticket situation to make it work currently. But I've got young kids. They're gonna be playing ball soon. I don't know that I can be a season ticket holder forever. Okay, so I had made up my mind. Next year, 2025, Atlanta hosts the All-Star game. I'm keeping my season tickets through the All-Star game because, man, what an experience. Be guaranteed home run derby tickets, All-Star game tickets, all of that stuff. Be guaranteed all of that. And be able to participate in all of the festivities that come along with it. I am so excited about that. And with Cards HQ being right down the corner, or right down the road, hopefully they're planning like a big card show around this. I don't know, something to go along with it. Anyways, I digress. I was so excited. I really felt like Acuna was going to hold out, not participate in the home run derby this year. Although I don't know he would get invited. That's another video, but that won't ever get made now. And but I just felt like Acuna is going to hold out. He's going to show up for that 2025 home run derby in Atlanta in front of his home crowd, and he was going to go off. And we were going to get to witness it, and it was going to be amazing. That's gone. I don't see any possibility of him competing in the home run derby next year. And if he did compete, there's no chance he could win it in the condition that his legs are going to be in. I mean, again, we saw in 2022 what he looked like coming back from his knee injury. There was no pop in his bat. He couldn't trust his knee to get the right amount of leverage to drive the ball. And I see that being the case next year. Now, my buddy Dom made a point to mention that the starters for the All-Star game are fan voted. So there's a chance that he does start the All-Star game because he'll be back by then. He'll be back on the field. So there's a chance, which will still be cool. That'll be great. But I love the home run derby. And being able to witness Acuna in the home run derby would be awesome. I haven't shared this story, but I actually went to the 2019 home run derby. That's where this comes from, right here. They were passing those out of all of the participants at the 2019 home run derby in Cleveland. And they were passing out faces of all the different players. I got one of the Acuna ones, and that's what's hanging on my wall. It's from the 2019 home run derby. I was there. I watched it. It was awesome. And I wanted to be able to see him again in 2025 in Atlanta, take the crown. Oh, that reality set in late Sunday evening after I just realized that he was going to be out for the rest of this year. Who knows when he's coming back next year? And I started thinking about next year, and I was like, oh my gosh. the All-Star games in Atlanta, and the Home Run Derby. That was I can't even explain to you how excited I was for Acuna to be in the Home Run Derby in Atlanta. Man, that is such a bummer, man. Oh, that's been one of the most devastating things for me personally. But again, I think the team will be okay. You know, obviously they did decent in 2021 without him, so I'm not worried about the team performing. But man, anyways, what else? So let's wrap this up with the big question. Is this it? Am I getting rid of my Acuna collection? Am I moving on to someone else? Am I going to become a Kyle Schwarber PC guy? No chance. I do like Schwarber outside of Philly, though. I have to say, I'm going to keep going. Acuna is my guy. I'm not just going to bail on him. Again, I mentioned, I'm not in for a ton of money on my Acuna collection. Thank goodness. I can't tell you how many times I've contemplated the Sapphire bat down card. Seriously, I have thought about it. And I'm so glad I haven't. Because, so let's back up and talk a little bit about his prices. So in 2021, when he went down, his prices, they dipped, but not that much. The reason being, people had so much money in Acuna. They knew he was going to be back. They weren't willing to settle for those prices as they came down. So they held, right? They held on to him, okay? Knowing he's coming back. Guess what? It took a little bit of time, but in 2023, he was the unanimous MVP. He did things no one has ever done. And guess what his card prices did? They maintained, dipped a little. They did not shoot back up like they had. Okay? So now with the second injury, I really see people just start dumping their Acunas because he'd have to win 3 MVPs in 5 years to get his card prices back up to what they were pre-21. And the market's not even the same as what it was in 21. You know? So he's got that going against him too. So his cards are going to come down. They're going to continue to come down. And I don't see them going back up. Even if in 2026, okay, he comes back and goes 50-50. From what it's shown us, his card prices aren't going to move back up very much. So from my collection point, I'm going to continue just to acquire Acuna cards. I think I'm going to be able to get really good prices on a lot of those. And I'm just going to keep on keeping on. Acuna's my guy. I'm not bailing on him. I'm going to keep collecting him. So, if you have some Acunas that you want to get rid of, let me know. I might be interested. Thanks for watching, guys. Me and my Acunas, we're still going to be buds. Still going to hang out. Still going to cheer on the Braves.